From creepy hotels where the guest never left to forgotten asylums with broken pasts. Come join us as we explore some of the darker stories surrounding the United States. Put on your nightlight because we are about to dive into the creepy side of America.
Welcome to the Creepy Side of America. I am Dan Kosloski. Joining me this evening is Brigid Lawrence, executive morning producer at WNEP. Brigid, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, thanks for joining me tonight.
Of course, anytime.
Who is our guest we have on the show tonight?
So tonight we're talking to the owners of the Shanley Hotel in Napanoch, New York.
I believe we have on the phone is Kelly Hammerling. Kelly is also the owner of this hotel. And what is interesting, Brigid, is this is not like a normal hotel.
No, not at all. Kelly has wonderful stories of some long-term guests of the hotel and, how they came to their final stay in New York.
Yes, and I think she caters mostly to the paranormal investigators.
Yes, she does. She works with a lot of groups and welcoming everybody who loves the paranormal.
Kelly, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I did hear a few stories. I found a few things online. It seems like your hotel is a very paranormal happening place there in New York.
Yeah, it can be. Some nights are quieter than others, but sometimes I'll go, did that just really happen? Oh my goodness. And I've done this since 2011.
So what's some of the history of your location there? How long has the hotel been around?
Well, the original hotel was built in 1845 by Thomas Rich. Was always a hotel or boarding house. It burned to the ground in 1895. So the building that I'm in now was rebuilt in 6 months in 1895. And so it's always been a hotel or boarding house or that transient energy coming in.
Interesting. And I was reading a little bit online about it. You guys kind of talk a lot about some of the tragedies that have happened at the Shanley. So what are some, I guess, of the most notable stories throughout history?
The Shanleys took over in 1906. Beatrice Shanley had 3 children, all died before the age of 9 months old. Rosie, one of the spirits here, she's a little 3-year-old. In 1911, she passed away in the well right across the street from us. And there's just been a lot of different stories. This is noted for Irish Mafia. So a lot of the stuff you won't find in the history book.
Yeah, things aren't recorded.
Yeah, they don't record those things. But yeah, it's there's a lot of different psychic mediums coming in and just verification one after the one of, oh wow, yeah, that's what somebody else said. Yep, that's true. Suicides, hangings, murders, you name it.
Sounds like a lot happened behind those walls.
Yeah, a lot of secrets too. We're still unraveling. It's piece by piece. You'll get something one night and then that just opens up another whole jigsaw puzzle. Like, oh my gosh, now we got to research this and try to find out if any of what we're hearing coincides or is true. So it's crazy some nights.
What have guests told you? Like, what are some of the most reported happenings?
We have every type of haunt. Most of it is intelligent haunts, but people have seen full-blown apparitions. People have gotten scratched, me personally, choked, shadow figures, disembodied voices. The other night, some of the guests caught right on video, recording, disembodied cat meow, because we have a couple ghost cats. It's just everything that you can check mark in paranormal experiences this hotel has had.
So when you said recording of a cat meow, I'm assuming there's no cats on the property currently.
I do have a cat, but
Okay.
it is well, we have gotten disembodied voices of a meow before my cat got here.
Oh, okay.
But then the other night, they
So
got
this is
one
ongoing, the whole cat.
ongoing.
Paranormal cat.
Yeah, and we've got actually the ghost cat on a couple of videos, but I sleep with my cat, so it's curled up, and they're up there at 3:00 in the morning hearing this. So it's and we hear the cat all over the different portions of the hotel. My cat is only allowed in my apartment, so it's not even near that stuff.
Are you aware of any stories that the cat might come from, the paranormal cat?
Yes, actually, Sal, the former owner, he believed it was his cat that passed away on the premise. His name was Sweet Thing because he didn't start experiencing it until after the cat had passed away.
Interesting. One of the former owners, you said that was?
Yes. Yeah. Sal Nicosia. That's actually on a YouTube video of Sal being interviewed. And at the very end, they show the ghost cat caught with a camera that had been set up 3 or 4 days in the hallway. So it's quite amazing what people actually do catch here.
Interesting. And you had said a couple minutes ago about Rosie. So how do they experience Rosie's hauntings? How does she show up for people?
Most of the time it's with her voice, EVPs, or through the spirit boxes that we use. And it's kind of neat when you have a 3-year-old because it's very distinctive from, an adult talking. So it's kind of neat when you hear her voice because you go, oh, that's Rosie.
They're probably more playful also, I would assume.
Yeah. Yep. And shy sometimes. Sometimes she's a little intimidated by, certain people, certain guests. But we have noted probably, I would say, close to 50 different names of spirits here. So it's not just a couple, it's a lot. And then sometimes you won't hear from certain ones. Obviously, they're not going to all come out and talk
right at the same time.
Or, every night. But, certain times you won't hear from one of the spirits for 6 months at a time. And all of a sudden, wow, where have you been? So we have about a list of about 50 known characters in this hotel as far as, time and time again. We hear their names. We psychic mediums pick up on their names and tell us a little bit about them and who might they be. And we collect all that in it and just make complete sense since 2011, time and time again, these names keep popping up with the same stories behind them.
And how long have you owned the property?
I've owned it since 2018, but I've been coming here to the hotel since 2011.
So you must know what are the more prone spaces in the hotel that have some kind of haunting activity?
It's all over the hotel.
Oh, it's all over the hotel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And people go, can I book the most haunted bedroom in a room? And I'll go, you pick them. They're all haunted.
How many rooms is the hotel?
It really depends on the spirit and the energy of the guest who's sleeping in there. Are they going to mesh? Are they going to leave them alone? One person could sleep in the same room and the next person the next night has the worst experience of their life or the best sleep of their life. So it really depends on the person's energy going in and what they stir up.
And because Dan asked before, how many rooms is the hotel?
The bedrooms, we have 10. We can book 10 rooms.
And you said before, someone could have the best sleep of their night or the worst night of their life. And you talked about scratchings. Who are some of these more, aggressive characters that are still hanging around?
Some of the more well-known ones we have here is Frank. Frank was like their bodyguard up in the brothel. He's a bit of a character. He has a kind of a sick sense of humor. We've caught him on one of the spirit boxes. I was explaining that I think he strangled me twice, and he said, you liked it. So
Wow.
Yeah, that's the sense of humor he has. And, we have Joe, who's a mafia hitman, who through EVPs, and I just got it the other day again, claims to have, how many people have you killed? 107. that number keeps coming up on EVP after EVP.
That's interesting how it's always the same number.
Yeah.
It's such an odd one.
Well, one
Yeah.
night, I didn't tell the guests how many he normally says, did an EVP session, and we all hear 116. And they're going, we hear 116. I said, yeah, that's weird. Normally it's 107. And I looked around and there was 9 people in the room. So I think he was just kind of saying, okay, you're next.
Interesting, yeah. Sort of playing a game with you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They all do. Yeah. And, we have a couple of haunted items in the hotel that have just added a little bit of experience. So we have a TikTok channel that people can go, and we post a lot of our evidence there. Some of the best ones we've caught, and it's very interesting what we can capture on some of this stuff that we use. The spirit boxes and the AM scan radios and the EVPs with the digital recorders and SLS cameras and things like that.
So over the years of owning the hotel and hearing these many stories from guests and I'm sure your employees, what are some of your favorite stories you heard in the past?
One of my favorite is and it happens occasionally, and it's funny because we don't talk about it until somebody sees it or experiences it, and we'll go, yep, we've seen it. It's a gray triangle, and this gray triangle tends to swoop in from a ceiling, swoop over, and then go straight up back into the ceiling. And one of my guests described it like a stingray, but it doesn't. It soars, it swoops, and he came out from one of the rooms and he says, I swear I'm going nuts because in the middle of the night I saw this thing swoop down. And I said, okay, that's great because you're not the only one who's seen it. What? We have no idea what it is. Absolutely no idea. No explanation. But it's been seen at least 5 or 6 times in the hotel.
So that's
and
more
we don't
seen
talk about it.
In person, or are they seeing that more in recordings?
In person with their own eyes. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
I have no idea. None what it would be. But it's described, every one of them, it's described as a gray triangle that just swoops down in and then swoops back up and disappears into the ceiling again. It's all different areas of the hotel.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it a certain room or
area?
Well, any other your favorite stories that sort of stuck in your mind over the years?
There's so many. There's so many. I mean, it's just every night is different. So we could have, different experiences every night of the week. That's why it doesn't get boring around here.
Do you have any people come up who aren't just there, to find the most haunted room? Like anybody caught off guard a little bit?
No, our hotel is specifically for paranormal tours. So nobody can just book a room and just stay here the night. They're booking actually the event. So they book a room and we do a paranormal investigation with you. So they know what they're getting into.
They know, before they get into it.
Unless I have had a couple that just don't pay attention to anything. They go on and book a room for the night and they get here and I'll go, okay, the event starts at 8. What event? It's like, okay. But they enjoy themselves anyway. Most of them are good sports. But, I have phone calls that'll say, do you have a room for the night? And I'll go, you do understand this is a paranormal hotel. You won't get much sleep.
Or maybe they'll get the best night's sleep. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's the noise when we're investigating, going around. But yeah, like I said, I've had people that will say, I slept so soundly. And then, the next night in the same room, I didn't get a wink of sleep. So you never know.
And over the years, I know I saw on your website that you're on quite a few different national ghost investigating shows. Have they come up with any evidence?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Again, all the time. I mean, we have a lot of YouTubers come through here, a lot of teams. And I just appreciate all the support that they do give us. And most of them go away with like, oh my gosh, this was so great. The evidence that we captured. And then, it's just time and time again. So I do appreciate all the teams that come in and help us out.
So I know you said right now your hotel is mostly focusing on the paranormal teams and events itself. Up till the time you bought the hotel, was it a normal operating hotel?
No, Sal purchased the hotel at tax auction in 2005. When he purchased it, he had complete different idea what he was going to do with the building. He said the building always called to him. And when you buy something at tax auction, you're not allowed to see the inside.
Okay, so you don't know what you're getting into.
What he was getting himself into. When he came in, the whole hotel basically was destroyed. It had been sitting abandoned for 15 years. Plumbing, electric all torn out, ceilings had collapsed, pigeons on the second floor. So it was his blood, sweat, and tears and his dream to do something with this building. Within a couple days of actually owning the building, he completely changed his business concept of what he was doing because he found out very quickly how special this building was and how paranormally active it was. So he decided instead of retail space, he was going to make paranormal hotel with tours. So he did the whole concept back in 2005. And like I said, I started coming here in 2011 as a guest and then volunteered here in 2014 and 15 with Sal. Every Friday, Saturday, I was here running the tours, helping out. And he passed away in 2016. And I took a couple of years off from the building. And then in 2018, I was able to purchase it from another tax auction. The person had bought it at tax auction. I was able to buy it from him.
Very interesting. I never really heard of too many hotels that focus mostly on the paranormal.
Yeah, it's strictly, we do just that. Just the paranormal tours.
And this is, more personal. How, I know you said that you volunteered there. So what drew you in? What experiences from just visiting and volunteering made you say, like, you want to know what? I want to keep this going.
Yeah, when I first walked in the hotel in 2011, I came in as a guest and came by myself and, they had an event going on and I felt like a home. I don't know. It's crazy when you walk into the hotel and I just kept coming back and back again and again because I enjoyed it so much, crazy experiences. Some nights were quieter than others, but it was always interesting. And always felt, like, oh, I want to go back. And again, in 2014 and 15, I was volunteered to help out with the tours. And I just kept getting evidence every time, I'd get EVPs walking down the hallway by myself. And, it was crazy. So I just kept coming back. And a lot of people do. A lot of people, once they come, they're going, oh, we're coming back. And I have what I would call my regulars that they're incredible. They come in, at least 6-7 times a year. And it's great to have them back. It's like a family after a while. It's my Shanley family. And the Shanley spirits are my second family. I always say that. And I've been called family by them. Through EVPs and stuff. And they become your second family, as dysfunctional as it might be. It is my second family. And I always used to say the Shanley Hotel was my second home. Now it's my first home since I do live here. But it's funny how that worked out. But yeah, I think Sal and the Shanleys had something to do with that. But it gets under your skin and it gets in your blood. As any paranormal investigator will tell you, after a while, it becomes like a passion.
Absolutely. And I think it's so amazing that you have so many people and groups that are coming back, like you said, multiple times a year.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It's great. Like I said, they become part of the family here. And the spirits, I'm telling you, the spirits will recognize them a lot of times. And like, she's back again. You get that,
One question I do have before we leave you go.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone was interested in doing one of your paranormal events at the hotel, how would they get in contact with you? Do you have a website, Facebook page?
Yes, we have Facebook, Shanley Hotel, and TikTok is Shanley Hotel. We have a YouTube, Shanley Hotel. The actual website is www.thehauntedShanleyHotel.com. And they can go right on there and book an individual room for our public ghost hunts. And then if they want to book the private events, we do book through email only. But the events information are all on the website under the private event tab. We have what we call our friends and family private event. So people can have the whole hotel to themselves. We start at $499 for up to 7 people, and go up to $899 depending on the night of the week. And that you have the whole hotel. We still do the 3-hour paranormal tour if they want it. Some teams, just want us to sit back and let them go. We give a basket of equipment to use for the night for everybody that has the paranormal private event. And we do get out a couple of pieces of equipment as long as we have enough on our public events. But all that information is on our website.
Okay, and you do these events year round?
I do have 2 staff that help me out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on. And you guys should come up sometime.
We'll have to make a trip up. It's not too far.
Great. I appreciate your time and letting me come on and talk.
Yep. Thank you. It sounds like you have a very interesting property there.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to The Creepy Side of America. And Brigid, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll come back anytime.
It was a pleasure having you. And to anyone listening, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, or follow The Creepy Side of America on whichever podcast platform that you're listening to us on. Brigid, I hope you have a great night.
You too.
Until next time, everybody, enjoy The Creepy Side of America.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Creepy Side of America. If you have any ideas or topic suggestions for an upcoming episode, send them to ghost@wnep.com. We're dying to hear from you.